Welcome everyone. Welcome to the live. Come on in, get cozy and comfy, grab your sketchbooks, grab some coffee, get whatever you need to get. Welcome to the live, y'all. I will be starting in just a moment. We'll get some music in here soon. Give me about 5 minutes. Hello to everyone who's here. Hello to everyone who's joined. I hope you guys are doing well today. Had to test the sound. So yeah. Hmm. Can you guys see okay? It looks like you can. So go ahead and share the link. If you're watching, share the link on your socials. Give me just a couple of seconds. The cat is, of course, ready to draw as per usual. As you guys all know, my cat does all my artwork. I simply am the front man for my cat's artistic career. My cat's a wonderful artist. He's really, really talented and is really, really smart. So I highly recommend checking out my cat's artwork on my Etsy, where we sell a lot of the amazing artwork that my cat does. And we have stickers, we have apparel, we have like stuff to decorate. Anything you need, we've got it. So go ahead and check it out. I'm going to leave a link in the chat, actually. Give me 1 second and I'll do that right now. Have any of you guys checked out my Etsy before? If so, you should have a look. And here it is. There we go. And I will pin that in the chat for you guys. There we go. Perfect. So that's the link to my Etsy where you can see more of my artwork. But today we're going to be using these Ohuhu markers to finish this landscape painting that I started yesterday. Go ahead and share the vid. I'm about to start painting. I noticed that a lot of the times yesterday I was using the marker to fill things in, but I was using the colored pencil for detail. And one of the nice things about the colored pencil is that it kind of melts in with the marker. Like once you rub it in, it blends really well. And it gives you kind of a little texture on the page too. I like it a lot. The mix of marker and colored pencil was a lot more successful than I would have assumed it would be. So we are about to start. We are about to start doing our painting. Go ahead and share the link. Hop on in. Say hello in the chat if you're here. Say hello. Leave a comment down below if you're sketching along with me in this video. And if you're not sketching along with me, grab your sketchbook. Grab that sketchbook and get to drawing. Come on, let's do it. So, one of the nice things about these longer lives is that you do get to really draw along if you want to. It could be like we're just drawing. Just the two of us. Draw as much as you want, just the two of us. Yes. So, how's everyone's Friday going? I hope you guys are having a good Friday. I've got my tea over here, and I am ready as ever to finish this drawing that we started yesterday. It's going to be really nice to be able to see this completed because, you know, I really didn't know what to expect when I saw the colors that were in the box. I didn't know what to expect when I started using the markers because I was essentially trying to use them like a medium I'm familiar with, but it's a medium I'm not familiar with. And what ended up happening is really nice. I like the way it's coming out. Do you guys like the way the painting's coming out? Let me know what you think in the comments or in the chat. I want to know what you're thinking about it. Do you like the painting? Can you tell what it is? It's kind of very whimsical. I like doing stuff that's a little more out there, you know? Doesn't have to be all cookie cutter and the same. You can get a little crazy with like the colors and stuff. So I think I really pushed it with this one, but I think I pushed it in a good way. So I'm gonna share the link on a few more of my socials, and then I'm gonna start with the drawing. So super hype about that. All right, I think we're good to go. Please share the link and let's get started. So what I learned yesterday was that this paper bleeds through really bad. And so I'm going to use this bleed guard that came with the Ohuhu set. It's inside the packaging for it. So I'm going to use that today because I learned my lesson. And I might have to move it around because the page is actually pretty big. But I bled through 3 pages yesterday. So that was a lesson learned. Um, I like to spill out my markers. I don't like to keep them in the bag and pick at them. I just want them here so I can grab them. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes. Excellent. Exactly. Exactly. Comes with a booklet. And this is the color chart. You can see right here all the different colors that come in this 24 pack. And I get the feeling I won't be using the colored pencils till later, so I am going to put on some Magical Girl music and get started drawing. If you leave comments in the chat, say something and I'll respond, but I'm just over here doodling away, so.
Make memories with Get God. Unforgettable travel experiences.
Seeing if you're pre-approved will never hurt your credit score. With Capital One pre-approval, you can...
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Pardon me, Ginger. Excuse me. Excuse me, Ginger, do you mind? Okay, so you know what? I really don't like this playlist. Like, I thought I was gonna like the playlist a lot better, and it's not very good. So, but I also don't want to sit here and just draw in silence. So, maybe I find some piano music. There we go. Yes. So then I don't have to keep DJing, because I felt like yesterday when I was drawing, I felt like I kept having to DJ the music, and it kind of took me out of just being able to zone out and draw. Like, you don't want to be wanting distractions when you're drawing, you know? So, okay. Let's continue. This sounds like villain music, no? Sounds like the kind of music like, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding and ask for this. You keep this up, Johnny, you'll be swimming with the fishes. I can't help but imagine a mob boss. Oh my god, my imagination's going crazy with this music. It's really funny. Okay, where's the paint I'm looking for? Oh my god, where's my paint? There's a particular pink. Oh. Yeah, so some of these colors aren't true to Cap, so I thought this was like a purple from afar, but it is the pink I was looking for. It just doesn't look pink. When you put it on, it's very pink. It's like neon, like highlighter pink, but the cap, you wouldn't know it from the cap, that's for sure. The cap is Cap. Cap and Cap. Yeah, that's looking good. It's blending really well, and that's what's important. I want a very purposeful blend, and it's looking really nice. I really like how this tip gives me a lot of control, so I can really do a lot. I didn't think I was gonna like this tip. I gotta be honest, this little like paintbrushy tip, I don't know why I didn't think I was gonna like it. It's like a paintbrush, and I love paintbrushes, but I thought I was gonna go for this more like broad stroke tip over here, and this thing is just lame as heck. I don't like the broad stroke at all. I mean, I guess it helps with filling in big spaces, but if you really want control, use this tip. And you get a really beautiful result. I enjoy it. It's giving to me. So let me show you what I mean. This broad tip, okay? Beep bop boop. Bop bop. Bam. Okay. Filled in a lot of space really quickly. Great. But could I really control like the spillage over to things like this tree area? Absolutely not. Not without taking greater concern than I would care to. I don't like to overthink things when I'm drawing. I like to kind of not overthink. That's like the point. So if something is giving me any kind of problem, probably just gonna like take the easiest route to solve it. I'm not gonna, I keep opening the broad tip. I don't want to use the broad tip. But I'm not gonna stress myself out. You see, like I was wasn't even gonna try with the broad tip, but I just want to do what I know is gonna work for me. So, although it is good to challenge yourself sometimes, you know, it is good to challenge yourself sometimes to figure something out. It's just I figured out yesterday a way of blending that seems to be okay for me, and I'm just gonna kind of like stick to that. So, not really trying to explore anything right now. I want to get as much surface area done as possible, because what I noticed yesterday is I feel like I thought I did so much more of the painting, and then I look at it today, I feel like it's only half done. I don't know. I thought I had more of the painting done. So that was a little surprising, but I guess, you know, it's whatever. I also noticed the way you layer the colors have different effects too. Like, the colors will go on really vibrant, but if you layer them on top of each other, depending on how wet it is or not, you're gonna get a different kind of effect, which I thought was interesting. Yes, Ginger. Thank you for saving me from the marker. It's very brave of you. I don't know why my cat attacks my sketchbook sometimes. I really like this classical music. This is the right vibe right now. Doth thou agree, Ginger? Verily. Oh gosh, I hope it's not bleeding. Okay. Oh, the thing's working. Okay, yeah. It's not bleeding today. That's good. Yesterday, I bled through 3 pages, and that was not fun. But the pad, I don't know if it soaks up the ink or what, but it's just not bleeding. Mhm. So if you notice for the details here, this is what I'm talking about with the whole control thing. So I'm going wet on wet with everything and kind of hoping to still get a layering effect by just being really like picky about where I'm being heavy pigmented. Um, but if I could, I wish I could go back in and layer on top with the lighter colors. I have to go light to dark, but if I could, I would go back in with these yellows because I want more. I want to be able to go back and forth. Unfortunately, um, much like with watercolor, you can really only go one way with the blending. So once you put a lighter color down and then you put a darker color on top of that, putting a lighter color on top of that darker color is not going to work out. So you just got to mind the gap, I guess. But, you know. Oh, wow. Thank you, Mango Ma King. That's really sweet. Oh my gosh, you've been watching me for years? That's so cool. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you like how it's coming out so far. This is my first time using markers, so I'm kind of just experimenting right now, you know? I like the way these trees are coming out a lot. I'm gonna use the colored pencil to draw the trunk. So I'm using the darkest brown in this pack of Prisma colored pencils. You can see how different the palette is between the color pencil and the marker. Like, it's kind of hard to see how these would work together, but you know, that's kind of why I chose to do something really whimsical and abstract for this painting, because I knew I wanted to make sure that the colors would work. Originally, I had wanted to draw like a pretty princess draft drawing that I had in my sketchbook from last year. Originally, I wanted to do this drawing and repaint it, but with markers and make it pretty, because this is just kind of a draft I came up with. And then when I saw this palette on the markers, I was like, oh, there are no skin tones. There aren't any of the colors that I would have planned to use in a drawing like that. So let me rethink this. And I ended up doing a landscape instead. Now you'll notice I'm using a lot of yellow, and that's because yellow is the lightest color, you know? And it's forgiving. That's what it is. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a very forgiving color. So let's say I do too much yellow in one place. It's going to be the lightest color on the page. So as I add tone and value, it'll still accomplish the contrast that I want to accomplish, especially when I'm mixing colors. So that's a big deal too. How the colors mix together is really important. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna do some blendy blendies. Blending solves all your problems. If you have problems, just blend them away. How well do they blend? I say you gotta put your back into it. I gotta be honest. I was expecting it to blend a little easier, but the blender, it's more like a wetness. So, oh man, homeboy on the piano is getting down. Give me a second. Okay. There we go. Okay, yes. So the blender is just like a wetness. It's whatever makes the marker wet enough to draw with, but it doesn't come with a color. So you can see the tip here is already like starting to get dyed from me blending all the colors together. It's almost like green because I've been blending the greens, you know? But it does require effort. And you've got to go to the edge of where the colors meet to kind of bleed it out. And then pick the color you want. It's almost like an eraser too, because it seems to be lifting some of the darker color, and that's how it disperses it onto the lighter color. So you don't have a lot of time to work wet on wet, which is why it provides a lot of wetness, but it's just, that's why it bleeds so much too, because it's a lot, and you have to keep layering. So I don't know. I think personally, watercolor is a much better way to get a nice blend. But if you must use marker, you can for a blend, you know. This nice sunflower color. Oh no, this is the dark yellow. Where's the sunflower? Yes, this nice sunflower color also gives some really nice contrast, because even if you have like some of the same color, you want like at least two of the same color. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does do a lot to lift the image off the page, like really. So like, look at that. Look at how different it is than when I just had one tone of yellow there. So, and then you'll notice that the colors dry different than they go on. They're not going on the same color that they end up drying as. And that can be kind of scary when you're, you know, when you're first exploring it, but then you kind of just expect it to even into its tone as it dries. This is my latest sketchbook for this year, and these markers are Christmas presents from my cousin. So shout out to my cousin for giving me the perfect gift, really. And I've been really excited to try them since I've come home from the holidays. That's the nice thing about being like the artist in the family. You always know what to get them. Artists always want art supplies. Even if they already have art supplies, they already want more art supplies. There's never enough art supplies, really. I still have art supplies from like years ago. Like I have a lot of acrylic paint that I really want to use somehow. I haven't had the chance to figure out how I'm going to use it, but I guess maybe I'll take an acrylic class or something at Art Center or something. But I think it would be worth it. I don't know how long acrylic paint lasts, but it's been a few years. Oh, just beautiful. Just stunning. Sometimes I forget what color I used yesterday. And then I'm like, oh boy, don't want to use the wrong color today. Hope this is the right color for the water. Otherwise, for some reason, the water on this side will just be inexplicably a completely different blue. But what does Bob Ross call them? Happy accidents? Yeah? It's fine. Everything is fine. Okay. Now I want to blend while it's still wet so I don't have to put so much pressure into it. It's really nice. You know, while you watch the live, if you want to, no pressure and absolutely no expectation for you to do so. But if you want to draw along with me in your sketchbook, we can draw together. It's really nice and relaxing and a great way to spend a Friday afternoon. So join if you want, or just chill out and watch me draw. You don't have to do anything. You've worked all week long. It's a Friday. Just chill out, you know? It's just a suggestion. Whatever makes you the happiest is really what's going to be the right choice. So you'll see how on this side there's a little texture to this water. That's because I went in with a colored pencil and gave it a little texture. So I went in with this blue colored pencil here, and I just very lightly, because these are very soft pencils, very lightly just start marking the page where I want a little bit of depth, just for a little bit of texture. And you're gonna see much later, I'm gonna go in with the color pencils separately and really get in that detail much later, but for right now, we're just gonna kind of suggest it. You don't have to make all your decisions at once when you draw. You can kind of just take your time and do one thing at a time, because you might change your mind too. Like maybe by the time I get to doing the detail with the color pencil, I don't want the water to look a certain way and I want to try something else. So give yourself a chance to make choices It's fantastic. It's coming along. I'm liking this. I always tend to seem to run out of my yellow first, and I think that's because I'm very yellow heavy when I draw. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm like this. Okay, so the emerald green. Yeah. Okay. Look how dark that is. With dark colors, you really feel like you're making a big choice, huh? It feels like kind of a obligation with dark colors. Like you can't erase it, kind of just have to deal with it. It's a little daring, a little more focus required, but I love the way it feels when you make it happen, you know? It's gonna look so nice when I nail this. And it's the point isn't to be perfect. The point is to be intentional. Because there's no such thing as perfection. There just isn't. It's a big old lie. There's no such thing as perfection, but there is purpose and there is intention. And the purpose and intention you put into your art is what really resonates with people, that make people go, I felt something when I saw this. So, a little tender love and care, you know? And that's it. I would say making more refined shapes is very difficult with this brush. Even though it's nice for a little bit more control than the broad stroke, you really can't be as detailed as maybe you might want to be. Like if I wanted to go really fine with these arrows and make them like really thin, like almost like that or something. It's just too thick of a brush to get that level of detail, so it's not going to happen. I definitely underutilized this broader side because of how much I like the control of the other side, but this broader side is very nice to use actually, to get a lot of space done quickly. It's not bad. There we go. Hey Swan City, thank you so much. I'm so glad you like it. What's up, girl? Yeah, the arrows came out really, really nice. I think I'm gonna do some more of those because it was fun to do too. Oh man, the sun went away. I didn't even notice that. You know what? I'm gonna turn on the light so it can be a little brighter in here and you can see the picture a little easier. Is that better? I hope that's better. I hope that doesn't make it worse. Can I get can you guys let me know, is that better or worse? Good? Oh man, okay. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Maybe that'll help. How's that? Okay, great. It seems like you guys like that. I like it too because it's a little bigger. You can see what I'm doing a little more. Can you guys? Oh, okay. Well, you answered my question. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. You know what? I just realized I haven't drawn the boats. I'm gonna go ahead and diddly doodle these little boats in. As you can see, I'm just constantly using the yellow to signify light. I could also leave the space empty, but I like to suggest something in the space. So I'm going to use the blender after this, and you're going to see how nicely the markers blend with the very, very waxy Prismacolored crayons, colored pencils. So I'm going to get the blender and watch this. This is really cool, actually. Look at that. It's just melting. Just melts right in there. It actually blends better with the colored pencil than it does with other markers, which I found really interesting. And the little bit of texture it adds to the marker is actually really nice. It lifts it off the page. I feel like it lifts it off the page. Mm. Alrighty. I feel like I could have done this with watercolor and got like the same visual effect, but with better like control. The big difference isn't really in the results so much as it is in like the utility and the application. So, for example, watercolors requires quite a lot of stuff to carry around if you're going to go out and do it like at the park or at the beach or something. But with this, you just take your bag with you, and this is a really nice bag. It's like canvas and it seems a little bit waterproof too. You take your bag, it comes with all the colors and a bleed guard and your sketchbook, and you're ready to go. You can like go anywhere. You don't have to bring water or anything. So I guess if you want that watercolor look without the watercolor burden, markers is a good choice. But I wouldn't say as far as like the effect you're gonna get with marker, is going to be any more refined or different than what you'd get with watercolor. To the contrary, I think with watercolor you're going to have more control and a similar effect. It's not going to be different. Okay, we got our little boaties in, our little floaty boaties. Let's do some grass. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Fantastic. That looks like grass to me. Okay. Nice. Feel free to leave any questions if you have questions about like how I'm making my choices in the chat. I would love to tell you that there's a method to my madness, but sometimes it's just what I feel. Sometimes I'm just trying to make a mistake that no one else caught but me work. And sometimes that makes it look like I did something special. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going for. I'm going for a very whimsical, vibrant look, like a very unusual landscape. I don't want to do an ordinary landscape. We've seen so many coffee shops, we've seen so many, beach fronts, that stuff. I want to do something that really makes you wonder, where are we? Can we go there? It looks nice. I like that. And sometimes for my color choices, I'll pick something that's unusual. Like, I try to avoid using black because it's not a color, it's a shade. And so I'll go ahead and use something like a dark blue, a purple, anything, but like I try to interpret the colors in a different way than what they actually are. So if I'm using a blue the way I'd use a black, I'm going to follow that rule all throughout the painting, or vice versa. But whatever rules I make up in my head while I'm doing this, I stick to them, so that way the painting kind of has a rhyme and reason to it. People might not know why it makes sense, but they know that there was a logic behind how decisions were made. That's what it is. It's about making decisions. Every line you paint is a choice, and other people can see the results in collections of your choices with the art. So they'll know when they see something blue, even if they're looking at blue, the painter intended to use the blue as black, and they're going to just go with that. It's not really going to not even going to be a question. You know, it really makes my day when people reach out who have been watching me for a long time. Because when I started this channel, I was like in high school, and I really just wanted to document my journey as becoming a working artist and going into my profession. Um, and I just wanted to show my journey so hopefully it can encourage people. And I really didn't have any expectations for it. But all these years later, it's been 10 years. I can't believe it's been 10 years on this channel. But all these years later, to have people say, I used to watch you in high school, or to have people come up to me at cons and be like, hey, I love your channel. I'm like one of your followers. That makes me really happy. Makes me feel like I did something right. So like I was saying with the layering, if you do it wet on wet, you're going to get a much nicer blend with the layering. So like you see how I just put down that lighter green, and before it even gets a chance to dry, I'm putting down this darker green, and it almost looks like I'm not putting anything down because the colors are so wet that they kind of just mesh. I think that's a better way to blend if you can control it a little bit than to just build your biceps with the blender. Okay. I'm gonna try something here that I felt like worked really well yesterday. I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. So yesterday I did this thing, right, where I took the colored pencil, and to just get kind of a grassy texture, I went over the marker with it, like that. It's really subtle, but it kind of does something, and it doesn't wipe off, which I like. So you see I'm rubbing, it doesn't wipe off. You see that? Nothing on my hand, but you still get the texture on the page, and it goes a little over the dark colors. And maybe it's only noticeable like in person, I don't know, but I like it. So I'm just gonna use that here. I used it a little bit over here yesterday, and I really liked, even the day after, I really like how it looks. So I'm just gonna keep that. That's Prisma for you, that's for sure. Hmm. 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 You know, I know a lot of people have opinions about different types of art supplies, but you know what art supplies never fails me? And I think I mentioned this in an old art supplies haul video. The best art supplies, in my opinion, is children's art supplies. Like anything you can find at like a school or of like place where kids are, they're gonna have the best art supplies. Children's art supplies, whether it's Crayola, watercolors, crayons, markers. Um, I remember when I could not afford. I still haven't bought myself markers. These markers were a gift. I would not have spent this money um, to buy these markers because, you know, it's a luxury. So I could not afford markers back in the day, and they were not on the gift list. So I was using Crayola markers, like the type you'd find at like a preschool. Um, there's nothing wrong with that. And they're super cheap. You get them at Michael's. If you don't have um, Blix and you live in a town where there's only a Michael's, you can find some Crayola markers at Michael's and use them. Use them with a Copex attitude. You know what I mean? No, the difference.
With the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases you want, like dance lessons, and on what you need, like memory foam inserts. That's real life ready. Visit wellsfargo.com/activecash. Terms apply.
Ugh, the small details are so hard to do. Very nice. Whoops, wrong blue. What's a girl to do? Haven't used that in the picture before. Oopsies. All right, just gonna have to make that work. Add a bunch of yellow. I hope these are easy to refill. I haven't thought about refilling these, but they surely, I mean, especially with how heavy-handed I am with the pigment, because I'm using this like a paintbrush. Surely they, hopefully, refill very easily. I'm really tempted to go in with like some acrylic to add highlights where I want to add highlights after this. Just because not being able to put not being able to put like lighter colors on top of the darker colors back and forth is really bothering me right now, and maybe it shouldn't be so much, but I just keep thinking, oh, what if I could? I would love for Blix Art Supplies to sponsor me. If you're hearing this, art supply gods, send Blick to do a sponsorship for me, because I have spent every red penny in that store. There's never been a time where I've gone down there and I haven't dropped a bill. I love Blix. So yeah. It's cool that you're studying art education. You know, I reached out to my art teacher from like elementary school the other I want to say like the other year, just because like, you know, she never heard from me again, and I just want to be like, hey, you made a really big difference in my life. And she had just retired and she was so happy to hear from me, and that made my whole day that she even remembered me as a student when I was a kid, because being in her class gave me confidence that I just wasn't getting elsewhere. I was bullied a lot in school back in the day, and it really wasn't very easy having no one to play with and stuff like that. And I felt like art class was one of the few places where, like, first of all, no one bullied me in art class, which was nice, because I don't know, man, back in the 90s at least, teachers would sit there looking at you getting bullied, and they'd just be eating their popcorn and be like, builds character, bro. But in art class, there was no bullying because no one was allowed to talk in art class. We all had to shut up and draw. That was her rule. And it was my favorite rule ever, because it was one of the only times during the day where no one was being mean to me. So then I remember when I did a good drawing in art class, she would have us do these really cool art exercises. And one of them was we had to do like a observational blind contour of an object. And so I brought in my hoop earring. It was a heart-shaped hoop earring with my name in it. And she loved it. She loved my observational blind contour. And I just remember feeling like inside felt like I just lit up like a Christmas tree. I just was so happy and proud of it. Like, I made something good. I was like, is it really good? Like, I almost couldn't. I almost thought maybe she was just saying it to make me feel good, but she's like, no, it did a really good job. And it made me so happy. And while she was complimenting me, because the art teacher was the only one who was allowed to talk, so while she was complimenting me, some of the kids who bullied me were making stink faces at me. I thought that was funny. But yeah, art class was definitely a safe space. I had one of those weird, quirky art teachers. She used to put on like whale music and probably like roll up in the back of the kiln when we weren't around or whatever. She was fun. She feels like an Abbott Elementary character. She was just the best teacher ever. I hope she's doing great things in her retirement. She made a difference on a lot of kids' lives for a lot of years. I know it just wasn't me, but you never forget a great teacher that you have, right? Like, they always stick with you. Even the teachers were like, you know, you were trying to be cool and play it off so you didn't come off as teacher's pet. You never forget them. I remember I had a teacher like that in high school. Her name was Mrs. G. She spent some of the budget for the art room to get me my first ever digital tablet. This was like back in like early 2000s or whatever. I don't remember when it was. But she spent money to get me my first digital Wacom tablet just so I can do like digital painting in computer class, because I was like the only one super interested in that. And I was so excited when she got me the Wacom. It wasn't even one of the ones where you can like see the screen on it. It was like one of the ones where you had to like look at the computer and then draw on the tablet, not looking at the tablet because the tablet didn't have any screen back then. But it was like the most advanced thing I've ever gotten. I was super hype about it. And I remember like I was about to like be all really excited and say thank you and stuff. And then like I saw like some of the other kids peeping from the other side of the room and they're all giving me the stankest eye. And so I just tried to play it off like I didn't really care. And I felt really bad about it for years later because it's just like, you know, she went out of her way and here I am being a freaking teenager about it. But the smile she had on her face every time I came into class and I ran and grabbed the tablet and I would draw with it all class long. She would just, I would catch her from the corner of my eye just smiling, watching me use the tablet. And, you know, I think that lady. Thank you, Mrs. G, wherever you are. You never forget the teachers that mean something to you. But it teaches us a lot about grace, right? When we remember that kind of stuff when we were growing up, because growing up can be so cringe. But thanks to the grace of like others who have also experienced the cringe of adolescence, we can forgive ourselves and forgive others and grow up to be really wonderful people who can give back the way other people gave back to us. So I really appreciate that. And it makes me always really excited about working with kids too. I've done a lot of jobs where I've like worked with kids, whether it's as counseling or guiding or anything like that. And I think what the most rewarding thing about it is um, being able to be a part of somebody's development in that way really changes their life. You can really make a difference on someone's life. So if you want to change the world, help a child, you know, or raise a child, or you know, do something with kids that will benefit them in the long run. Or at least that's what I tell myself. I think in a lot of ways, a lot of us always stay children because we have that inner child, and if you're really lucky, the inner child survives and goes into your art or you know whatever you do that makes you happy. But that inner child never goes away. It doesn't go away when you're 18. We're all children, no matter how old you are. You're always going to be a kid, really, deep down. And by tapping into that very childish side of ourselves, we give ourselves permission to um, let in inspiration and creativity in new ways. Because kids are really close to the spirit world, or whatever they usually say about that. Like, you know, they say, like, I think it's in Japan or something, they say kids are close to the spirit world or whatever. But I believe it. That makes sense to me. But tapping into that frequency of something bigger than you and daring to imagine and believe, right? You can tell a kid anything, they'll believe it. Ginger, what do you think, Ginger? Do you like it? This is my cat, Ginger. He does all my artwork. He's a very good cat. And, you know, I talk to the clients because he can't speak human, but he does the artwork for sure. And I do take the money when the clients pay him, but I pay him back in catnip. So we have a pretty mutually beneficial thing going on. He does not know about cash, he only knows about wet food. So, you know, shop our Etsy so that the cat can eat. The cat won't eat if you don't buy from my Etsy. So, you know, no pressure or anything. It's just, you know, he's hungry. He is an artist. He is my little artist. I can't believe how quickly this page filled up. I felt like yesterday I was going at it all over. Maybe it was just a learning curve because I was figuring out how to use the markers. But I feel like yesterday I was drawing a lot slower. And today, on the other hand, I feel like I am just speeding through this piece. And I'm not really trying to, it's just coming along. I'm gonna add some texture to the grass because, you know, grass needs texture. I want to do it like this for a little more control rather than, oh my god, I love this. Wow, why wasn't I doing this before? This is exactly what I wanted. Yeah, it's great. Okay, I'm gonna do that all over then. Why not? It's nice, right? That little texture. It adds just enough. Always keep experimenting. Even if you think you found something and figured it out, keep trying new stuff. You might run into something. Fantastic. Looks grassy enough to me. Fantastic. Yeah, that's what I want. This is much better. Great. Very nice. Notice how I'm blending it with the pastel blue just as quickly as I can while it's still wet, because I really want to blend it into the water. Yeah, there we go. Mm. I wonder how these compare to Copex. I heard somewhere that these are better, but if these are the better version, then how bad are Copex? But Copex can't be bad because they're the most popular one, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe I might have to bite the bullet and buy one to try it. We'll see. I want to use what I have first. This music is giving very villains to lovers, no? My favorite trope. Fantastic. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Thank you, Mango. Yeah, this landscape is looking fab. Oh my gosh. I'm happy with this result. I'm wondering if I'm done or not, you know? My old teacher used to say it takes two people to do the drawing, one person to draw and one person to take the pencil away. So, I think it's nice right now. I think what I want to do though is I want to add just some subjects, just some objects like in the water, and then subjects in the environment. I think I'm going to do that. I really want to get the light because I have some pretty intense yellows going on, so I might as well have them make sense a little bit. Have everything cast a very shadowy shadow. I know it's like the smallest thing, but it really is adding quite a difference. Here we go. Should I do more lives? Guys, what do you think? Like, what if I did lives on the weekends once in a while? I think I could manage that. It's hard coming out with a video all the time, but Lives are pretty low effort. And if you guys like them, I'll do them more often. This was pretty easy to do. It's just a chill day in my bedroom on my fluffy pink couch with my kitty helping me draw. Let's put some people in the picture. I think we can put a couple figures enjoying the space in here. What do you think? I feel like the shadows add a lot of help. I think people will help too. Where is my microphone? Oh, here it is. Okay. So I know what you're probably wondering. Tracy, why are you adding the people now? Why didn't you add them before, silly? Well, I wasn't sure about it before, but now that I see the landscape without people, I think let's add people. So, um, I feel like everyone should look like they're like walking home. I think that works for me. Maybe it's like one more little guy over here. No. No, I think this works. Mm. I know I'm layering it on top of like other marker colors, so it's not exactly the cleanest, but that's not the point. The point is to put human figures in it. Okay, I think that's it. So this is the final product. Oh my gosh. Wow, there's so many people here now. There's like 7 people watching. Everyone, check out the link pinned to the top of the chat. It's my Etsy store where you can find some of my artwork that you can put on your to decorate your house, to decorate your office, or your locker, or stickers to share with your friends and things like that. I also have apparel and lots of really cool merch. Just check out my Etsy, see what you find. And this is the final result. I'm super happy with it. It came out so much nicer than I could have imagined. For my first time using markers, I am not complaining. It wasn't bad. Um, just kind of a learning curve. And I'll be putting this on my IG. I'll be scanning it in so you guys can get a closer look at the final result. And I'll see you guys next time I go live to do some painting. The next time I do this will probably be on the weekend again. If you guys enjoy it, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully next time you have your sketchbook with you so you can draw with me, or don't, just watch me draw. Either's fine. You can draw along with me, or you can just watch me draw. Either way, as long as you're watching, enjoying, and leaving a thoughtful comment or two, your viewership is greatly appreciated. And I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. I love you so much, and you're also wonderful. Thanks for all of the nice emails and comments you guys leave on my socials. I'll be seeing you next time. I'm going to end the live now. Bye-bye, guys.